A dispensation in the Bible is a set period of time in which man is tested as to his obedience to some specific revelation of the will of God. Or to put it more simply, it's a point of time where God deals with his people and the world as a whole in a particular way. Each dispensation has rules in which man must abide by, but usually never do, meaning each dispensation ends with man's failure and God's judgment. There are 7 dispensations in the Bible, and we're going to talk about the 4th, which is called promise. The dispensation of promise is told in the book of Genesis. It begins when God calls a man named Abraham, the forefather of the Jewish people. God tells Abraham to leave his home to a new land, where God would make him a great nation and give him many descendants. The events that take place during this dispensation are as follows. Abraham goes to the land of Canaan. He fathers Isaac. Isaac then fathers Jacob and Esau. Jacob steals Esau's birthright. Jacob wrestles with God, who renames him Israel. Israel fathers 13 children, 1 daughter, and 12 sons. Joseph becomes Israel's favorite child, and his brothers then sell him into slavery out of jealousy. Joseph then rises through the ranks and goes from a slave to the governor of Egypt, second in power only to the Pharaoh himself. The land of Canaan suffers through famine, so Israel and his children go to Egypt, and there are reconciled to Joseph, who stored enough grain to ensure Egypt would not suffer the famine. The family of Israel remains in Egypt, where the family grows greatly in number. Eventually, a new pharaoh who didn't know who Joseph was comes into power and sees that the Jewish people are growing too numerous and worries that eventually they will outnumber and overthrow the Egyptians, and so takes drastic measures to ensure that this would never happen. Out of fear of the Jewish people, the Egyptians and the pharaoh then turn them into slaves, and the Jewish people remain in slavery for 400 years. And that is the end of the dispensation of promise. Next time we will discuss the 5th dispensation, which is called law.